If you used IMPORTXML recently in your Google Sheets, you probably noticed that most of the time it just doesn't work. Here I have 3 very popular websites that I want to scrape, but whenever I try to scrape them, they just throw me an error. This actually used to work before, so what's going on? Why does it not work now? And you can see that I'm not typing gibberish in the parameters. I'm actually trying to scrape the website. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Class equals a price hold. This perfectly matches the class name that we have here, but somehow it doesn't scrape the information. So what's going on? It used to work before, but it doesn't anymore. I'm going to explain why this is happening and what's the solution to this problem. Okay, I'm going to use Instagram to illustrate the problem. When I refresh it, you'll notice here that it takes a little time to load the content. If I want to see what's going on, I can right click and view page source. Immediately you're going to notice that there's not a lot of HTML in the page. Most of these are just scripts. What's going on here is that Instagram is loading the page with JavaScript instead of pushing static HTML. So when it tries to scrape this, it's not actually going to load anything. It's just going to get a bunch of scripts back that it's not going to be able to run. I also want to illustrate the problem with scraping CoinMarketCap. You can see here that they are not unique IDs or class names that I can use to scrape this information. And if they are class names, they are changing every second. So if I want to scrape all the coins with their prices, how am I supposed to do that? And we actually have one simple solution to all of these problems. Now let's use the CoinMarketCap example again. All I have to do is just paste this command. This command uses AI, and the AI is going to scrape the CoinMarketCap website. It's going to check for all coin prices, their name and their price. And we have a structured output of exactly what we wanted to scrape. Bitcoin is at 77,000, Ethereum is at 2K, and we can actually check that this information is correct. Yeah, it's pretty much the same minus the updates. This function is not default on Google Sheets, so I'm going to show you how to get it so you can fix all of these problems. Now, it might look complicated, but it's actually very easy to set up. The first thing to do to set up the scraper is that we're going to use a Google Sheets feature. Click on Extensions, then click on AppScript. This might look complicated, don't really worry about all of this, just follow my steps, it's really hard to mess this up. Everything that's here in code.js, just delete it. And in the description, I put a GitHub gist link. There you're going to copy the code and we're going to paste it over here. Go to the GitHub gist, click raw, select all of this, Ctrl C, and paste it here with Ctrl V. And do not worry, you don't have to understand what any of this means to use it. You probably noticed the name HasData appearing a lot in the code. That's because we're going to use HasData scrapers to get this information with AI. And we're going to have to link HasData account with this code. If you don't have a HasData account, click the first link in the description to get a free trial. You don't need a credit card. After you sign up, you're going to be presented with this page, and we really only care about this, your API key. Now all we have to do is just copy it with this button. It's copied. Head over to AppScript, go to settings, scroll to the bottom so you can see script properties, then click on add script property. Name it HasData E exactly like this, then paste your API key here. Now also I should mention that you shouldn't reveal this key to anyone. This is like a password that shouldn't be public. Click on save and we should be good. We can head over to the code, Ctrl S to save it, and we're good. And now we have 4 functions that we can use within our Google Sheets. This one will scrape data with AI. This one will scrape data from Google. This one will scrape related search phrases from Google. And this one will scrape Amazon products. Now, not every scraper needs to be an AI scraper. AI takes a lot of time to process data, so if we can avoid that, then it's better. For each of these functions, I'm going to show you how to use them and when they are useful. Okay, let's start with the AI scraper. Let's say I want to scrape HasData about this page, and I'm interested to know the people behind HasData. Let's say I want to get the name and the role. So all I have to do is do equals HasData, all in caps, parentheses, open quotes, close quotes, put the URL you want to scrape, comma, again in quotes, a description so that the AI will understand what you want to scrape. I want to scrape people that work here. I want to get their name and their role. You can see that the scraper worked and it actually found me over here too. Okay, pay attention to this, name and role. This perfectly matches what we have here, name and role. If you want to scrape other things, you should change what you put here. If I only want the names, I can remove the role, and now we just have a column of names. Also, the opposite is true. You can remove things, but you can also add things. That's pretty much how the AI scraper works. It's very easy to use and it's very useful for any scraping problem. But again, as I mentioned before, not everything needs AI to scrape information. These three other functions don't really use AI. Google Search is a good example of this argument. Let's say I want to scrape results from Google Search. I can do that with this HasData function. Again, do equals HasData underscore SERP, open and close parentheses. In quotes, you're going to type in what query you want to search. Let's say I want to search best hamburger in New York City. And here I'm going to put how many results I want. Let's say I want 30 results. The scraper is going to take a bit of time to scrape this information, but when it's done, it's going to display it over here. And here we go, the scraper's finished. This column is the position, this column is the title, and this column is the link. And I can actually click on any of these if I want to. Now, I can also reduce the number of results I want shown to me, so I can just make it maybe top 13, and I'm going to get the top 13 results. This can be really useful if you're doing SEO tracking and SEO monitoring. The next function scrapes similar search phrases based on the phrase we give it here. So again, equals HasData related, open and close parentheses, and let's say best coffee in New York. And here are some similar search phrases to this search phrase. So we can see that people are searching best coffee in New York from Reddit, best coffee in New York City from 2026, best coffee in New York downtown, whatever. And we can actually get the link to maybe search up this phrase. And the last scraper that I want to show you is the Amazon scraper. Let's use this product as an example. Let's say I want to get information about this product. Now, all I have to do is just scroll down and find item details. And I only care about the ASIN of the product. So I'm going to copy this and do equals HasData Amazon in quotes, pasted it over here and close parentheses. It's going to scrape the name of the product, the price of the product, the seller, and the previous price. Here you can see it's empty because probably it didn't have a previous price. Maybe it just had this. But on other products, this tends to show up. Okay, let's try the scraper on a different product and see what we get. So let's try it on this. Again, scroll down to item details and just copy the ASIN. Now I'm just going to replace the ASIN over here and give it time for the scraper to get the information. And you can see the scraper got the information, and this time we had a previous price. We also get other sellers selling this exact same product, and we can easily compare the price to make sure we are getting the best deal. A really cool thing that you can do with AppScript is that you can make the script run and check these so that they can be updated automatically. If you want this to update automatically, you can click on extensions, click on AppScript. At the left, you'll find the icon for triggers, click on it. At the bottom, click add trigger. You can decide which function you want to update. I want to update HasData Amazon. Click select event source from spreadsheet and click on time driven. At the interval, you can pick the frequency of how often you want this to update. You can make it to every hour, every 2 hours, every 4 hours, whatever you like. And then just click on save. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video. Make sure to give HasData a try. Click on the first link in the description to get a free trial. You don't need a credit card. If you have any questions or need any help, leave a comment and we will help you. Hit subscribe so that YouTube will show more videos from us to help you grow your business. Thank you for watching. Take care.